printed in your program, so I will leave that as it is. The scope of responsibilities that these women have is just amazing, each one of them. Time allows only highlight just a few of them. So, going back to 12 years ago this month, I found myself in the studio WKYC for the Live on Lakefront program with education and communication specialist Gail Prunty. Gail's not with us today, unfortunately, but Gail was, this was a time when white nose syndrome was decimating our local bat population. It had just about a year in since white nose hit us. And Gail, among her many huge repertoire of programs, was promoting bat conservation, bat houses, and so forth like that. Well, I guess because Geauga Park District had this full-length, head-to-toe bat costume. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, brown fur, leathery, wings, and so forth. And yeah, I guess that's what got me that gig. But anyway. The only shortcoming of this costume is it didn't have a mask. So instead of that cute little fuzzy bat face that's somewhere between Winnie the Pooh and Baby Yoda, and and instead was you get my middle-aged mug, which among other things, senior. Well, back then, 12 years ago, I still claimed to be middle-aged. So, yeah. And so, among other things, it lacked that mouthful of little tiny insect-shredding teeth, And despite orthodontia that went awry since my youth, I didn't have the right teeth for the job. But, so there I was, just feeling kind of dumb standing there in this costume as Gail was giving a great presentation. So, but nonetheless, I didn't pass up the chance because there's an opportunity to collaborate with this wonderful organization here, agency, I should say, Geauga Soil and Water Conservation District. In my retirement, it's been since Halloween, it's been exactly 6 years since I've been in retirement, but my ventures still continue with soil and water. And with Gail, doing pond programs for Amy Hochschild's Berkshire School 6th grade science day camp, which Gail coordinated. Now, conservation education coordinator, Katie Nandinger. Katie's not here today either. I've known her since her time as wildlife education coordinator at Lake Metro Parks. She puts out the Watershed Ripples newsletter, oversees the conservation poster contest that school kids all enter. Katie is the regional Envirothon coordinator. Now, Dave mentioned the Envirothon. It's a high school competition, school to school, region to region, are designed to stimulate, reinforce, and enhance interest in the environment and natural resources. My daughter, Kate, who's now a nurse, she was a member of Chardon High School's state champion Envirothon team under science teacher Marilyn Rohr. So the state championships, Chardon was a force to be reckoned with there. And they went to national/international competitions that got Kate to Arizona and New Brunswick. So that was a tremendous part of her growing up and her science-oriented career. So when not dealing with grumpy construction site supervisors over issues of soil erosion, natural resources technician Colleen Sharp, in addition to other major duties, leads the stream team. In retirement, I've had the joy and privilege of participating in this wonderful program for children and their adult guardians, parents, grandparents, so forth, that are really fanning the flames of these kids' growing interest, fascination, the sense of wonder, as Rachel Carson says, in sampling stream life as a measure of water quality. Now, water quality in our local we are a county of headwater streams. Grand Chagrin and Cuyahoga River, thank you, yeah. So now both the Envirothon and the stream team, these are, I think, critically important incubators for future environmental scientists and conservation professionals. So that is, I think, a tremendous role. Like Steve said, don't underestimate the value of the work that you're doing, provide these professional experiences for young people. In my involvement with trail and facility improvements and the development of a nature center at Thompson Ledges Township Park, yeah, that's been a big part of my, what do you do in retirement, Dan? Yeah, conservation technician Lisa Berkheimer was instrumental in guiding the Thompson Township Park Board towards receiving a very helpful grant from the Ohio Nature Works program, resulting in trail improvements that greatly enhanced and facilitated exploration of the magnificent Thompson Ledges. How many of you have been there? Good. That's better than most. Most people don't even know where the hell Thompson is. Okay. So, in addition to inspecting construction sites for sediment control compliance, as well as investigating non-point source water pollution episodes, the scope of soil and water conservation district programs, landowner services, and conservation resources is, as Dave indicated, is absolutely astounding. Yes, their repertoire is so vast, and given time constraints, I've had to come up just with a consolidated list of some of their These include Geauga County watersheds. You all live in a watershed. Rain barrel basics, rain gardens, and rain barrel yard art campaign and auction. Yeah, auction coming up. That's this week. Oh boy! Go to their website and see some of the finest in our local artists' work. Composting 101 and building healthy soil. Let your yard be a solution to water pollution and protecting water resources. Beneficial buffers and repairing setbacks. Managing manure to protect the environment. Yeah, I thought, I tried using AI to come up with this list. And my computer lapsed into a political speech writing program. Wetlands. More trees, please. Trees for Bees, and the annual tree sale, and Geauga's biggest tree contest. I won that one. Yeah, American Beach. Yeah, they notified me, and I said, son of a. Best management practices for erosion and sediment control, environmental stewardship, school and youth programs, bats, insects, soil, pond and stream explorations, ecology, and more. Teacher workshops in watersheds, soil, and agriculture. Provide guidance on Ohio drainage laws, backyard flooding issues, forestry and timber harvesting, pond management, fish stocking sales, and agriculture programs that include agricultural easements, reducing nutrient runoff, farming for the future newsletter, as well as fronting the Ohio Historic Family Farms program. And, that's just scraping the surface. It's just amazing. So, with Geauga Soil and Water Conservation District's incredible range of services, resources, and programs, who keeps all these plates spinning in the air? Well, with the invaluable aid of Administrative Assistant Colleen Lair, its Director and Engineer Carmela Shale, who leads and coordinates the work of this small but mighty team. So allow me to introduce Carmela. Come on up here. And,
well, thank you very much, Protect Geauga Parks Group, and thank you, Dan Best, for this wonderful honor. I'd just like to introduce Colleen Sharp. She is our natural resource technician, and she is very responsible for the stream team that he talked about. Used to be the Geauga NYC group. There was a group of students in Munson. I believe they came out of Munson. Okay, and I think there was some Munson students in it, or Munson resided in Munson. When we were approaching the year 2000, they felt it important to do this, you know, the NYC Millennium Youth Conservationists, and they wanted to do a stream monitoring in the summer. So they started this group. It's been called the NYC until this current year. We're like, okay, we got to get rid of the NYC. We're past that, right? So it's now called the Geauga Stream Team. And Colleen takes this group out, and they do. I'm going to let her talk about that a little bit. Go ahead. And then I'll come back.
During the summer when the kids are off from school, about twice a month we go out and check out different streams. We look at the chemistries and the macroinvertebrates, the little things that are big enough to be seen with your naked eye and they don't have a backbone. And we look at what lives in the stream. And by looking and identifying the different critters that live in the stream, you can kind of determine the health of that stream segment. So it's been a lot of fun just bringing the kids and all their parents and grandparents and just seeing the look on their faces when they learn something new. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe just by looking at this little thing that I can determine, you know, the health of the stream and different things that I can do to help as well. So, streams.
So she's one of my employees. She also, in addition to the stream team, as Dan had alluded to, you know, the part of the job that's, you know, we all love the nice parts of the job, the enjoyable parts, but there's always the parts that are not always so fun, you know, dealing with the grumpy kind of contractors or the construction projects that are going on, trying to ensure that stormwater is managed, erosion is kept at bay, and sediments kept on site, and helping landowners as we encounter problems. So she's one of our technicians. We also have Lisa Berkheimer, who's another technician that does a lot with the agriculture community. Dan had mentioned keeping manure at bay, so it's not polluting our waterways. So she does a lot with that. We do workshops on that. And we also have two amazing educators, as Dan has alluded to. Gail Prunty, if you haven't been to one of her programs, I'd be surprised, because she has a following. Everywhere she goes, people know who she is. Her BAT programs are very famous. I forgot about the but she'll take the programs. Right now, this past week, she was very busy all week. You know, this time of year, every school wants to have BAT programs. So she goes to the schools. She has one of the students gets dressed up as a bat, and then they all act as insects and it's really a neat thing. But we also have the rain barrel yard art. We've been doing it for 20 years, something like that. We've raised a lot of money for our education programs. We have currently the rain barrel yard art auction is up in the middle of the week this week. So the money we raise from that we use for education programs. We also have the tree and fish sale that the money we raise for selling tree seedlings and or fish, fingerling fish. And we also have been selling larger trees in the last probably 10, 15 years or so. All that money goes into our education programs also. The neat thing that we started 2 years ago or a year ago was our Planting the Seed to Read program. So this has enabled all the money that we've raised through the programs that I've explained to you. Katie Naniger is one of our education people. We do a Planting the Seed to Read program. This program gives every kindergartner in Geauga County a book. The book is called Right Here, I don't get the name right. Right this very minute, right this very minute. It took me a second. But it basically explains where your food comes from. And she gives a program to all the kindergartners in the county of Geauga. They get a book, they get an apple from either Patterson's Fruit Farm or Sage's, and she reads the book to them and they do an activity. So it's really a neat program that every kindergarten is going to get one of these books. And we use that, the money we raise for that. Also wanted to mention, I've got 2 of my supervisors here. We have a board of 5 supervisors. Jeff Huntsberger and Deepa Lou. We also have Mary Slingloff. She was a Munson resident. She used to have Avalon Gardens on Powers Mill. And we have Tracy Engel from Auburn Township and Bob Lawson from Thompson. And also my staff, we have Katie, Gail, Lisa, and Colleen Lair, our administrative assistant, that keep it all together. The funny part, maybe not so funny, I'm not as eloquent as probably our people that we've had speak here. I'm an engineer by nature, kind of opposite of environmental a lot of times, people think. So I kind of made the whole round. You know, I started as an engineer at school, went to a consultant, then went to a contractor, then went to the county, and then I came to the green side, is what I say. So I got to see all phases of it. And I've been with the Soil and Water District for 26 years. And I've seen that, I think, who mentioned it earlier, but working together with all people. You've got to work together. We work with the people that might not like what we want to hear. We work with people that do like what we want to hear. But it's very important to be a part of it all. To be enough. But as a Geauga Soil and Water District, we try to be a lot of things to everybody. Your yards, your property, your land, it's all very important. And there's an engineering side of it, but there's also a green side of it. And the two can work together, but you gotta have those people work together to make it happen. So many things we do. There's also a flyer. If I don't know if you get the Geauga Business Magazine, there was an article they did the last issue was on the Geauga Soil and Water District. They did a remarkable article about us. They interviewed me for 15 minutes, half hour, and the article just, it struck me, really hit me hard. I was like, wow, we do a lot for the Geauga County. We try to do everything and anything. So we try to help people, we try to educate people. Education's a huge component. We do over 100 education programs a year with the little staff we have. We don't have a ton of naturalists or a lot of educators. You know, we've got 2 people. So we do a lot of work, and I'm very proud of the staff I have. Couldn't be done without them. With my board, and we get funding from the county commissioners. Whatever funding we get from them, the state does match our funding. So it's very critical that they support the work that we do. So I think that's all I have. Is there anything else? Did Jeff, do you want to say anything?
Well, just real quick, we're retired lawyers, so we don't want to go on. Carmela and, yeah. Sure. Carmela and the staff are just unbelievably good. And I don't think the organization is known that well in Geauga County. I think you folks, certainly more so, but the average Geauga County person. So one thing we're trying to do is get the name out there more and make sure people realize what we can accomplish. But on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, it's just a great group to work with. So, thank you.
Well, now we know a bit more about them. Stop them when you're way out and talk to them and find out a little bit more before we close, let's hear once more from poet David Adams. David? It's really been an exciting afternoon. I can't believe how much I've learned. It's really quite amazing, David. Come on over here.
Yeah, I really don't like these things. I'm wondering if you can hear me if I just stood in front. Can everyone hear me in this register? No? Okay, I'll do it then with the microphone. For the last 57 years, I've written a poem each year for the season of Advent, which is probably the last remaining vestige of my Catholic childhood. We learned in Catholic school that Advent was the season of hope. And over the years, for me, it has become more a season of seeking hopefulness, which is about 7 degrees south of hope itself. And in the last few years, writing these poems has become more difficult, given the world that we live in now. There's so much anger and division and violence all over the globe. Typically, for me, when I get stuck like that, I fall back on a couple of things that I love, one of which is classical music. I have a number of friends who are players in the Cleveland Orchestra, and I'm in awe of them most of the time, thinking, what could a poet possibly do to match what they produce? The other thing is being out in nature. So last year, when I was really stuck, I walked up to the Arboretum in South Chagrin Reservation, where I often go to walk my dog. And I kneeled down on the grass. It was about exactly a year from now, but it was a sunny day, it was a warm day, and I'm thinking, how am I ever going to write another poem like this for this purpose?